Yokoso and välkommen. It's me, Celery. How it be? We're just gonna grind until I get Kagekiyo-chan up to Bond 10. Which doesn't sound like that daunting of a task, but believe you me, it is. She needed, 399,000 points from Bond 9 to 10? It's disgusting. Oh, I bet you think you're so cool because you put the NP seal on me. You know what? You are pretty cool for doing that. But you know what else? Get on, chump. I'm taking that charge away from you. I'm pretty hungry, but I have no food. So I had some pumpkin seeds to tide me over, but now they're gone. But it's okay, because I got a bag of granola right here. I've never really eaten granola by itself. I always put it into things. So I guess this will be a fun experience to just have granola straight from the sack. I mean, it is just as uninteresting as I thought it would be to eat granola straight from the sack. Yeah, I don't know. Eating granola straight from the bag is pretty uninteresting. It would have been nice if I could put it in some yogurt or something, but I have none of that. I love the poverty arc. Why? Because I seem to do it every year. Like, without fail, every year I seem to be like, oh man, out of a job. Time to eat dirt for a couple of months. You know, I watched the new episode of Panty Stocking with Garter Belt today. I generally like every episode of the show, and I liked this week's, but I thought it was kind of weak. Man, I despise you, Olga Marie. And Rose like, let me steal your NP so I don't die. Let me drag out this battle one more turn. And then we all die, and then it's like, oh man, we all died. Oh geez, okay, this is actually kind of bad now. I don't think my remaining servants can muster up enough damage. But I guess we'll find out. Honestly, it's time for desperate measures. We still might be able to make it through this. Do it, Da Vinci. Oh yeah, that was actually a lot of damage. And this delays the inevitable by one turn, which is all we need left to get Jean to be able to NP. Honestly, she can do it after this. See? However, this was unaccounted for. Sweet. That was a lot scarier than it had to be. I've really got nothing going on in my life as of late, so nothing that you can relate. My back that's been hurting, I think it's because of the way I've been sleeping, because the part of my back that was hurting because of, assumably, my kidney, it's like, okay, cool. But then it's like the other side of my back started hurting, and I'm like, oh geez, what's this? But it felt less like the pain that I feel on my other side, and it feels more like muscle fatigue. But then I'm like, I haven't really done anything to warrant like this muscle fatigue type pain. I think I must have been sleeping really weird, because after the last couple of days it's kind of slowly fixed itself, but it was like actually genuinely real world painful there for a little while. I was just looking something up on the internet. Man, they need to hurry up and get me do my CAT scan. And I bet you're thinking, why is that? Why? So then I can know if I need to just start prepping for my inevitable death, or if I need to start like preparing to live. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of lost my will. Okay, that's not to say I'm feeling suicidal, but it's like, if they do the CAT scan and they say that that growth in my kidney is not benign, I just give up. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to be like, well, let's see if I can fight the good fight or anything. I'm just going to ask if they can give me like some pain medication, and then I'll just ride that out until I die. Like, I don't care anymore. I was not born a fighter. There's not enough space for all of us. Yay. That does so little damage, it's kind of funny. Olga Marie be like, oh no, I'm being showered on. Anyway. See, that's how this normally goes. We failed the kill, and then she does one attack, and we live with a convincing amount of health. I don't know the last time it didn't do that, but hey, we're talking about the present, not the past. Let's have a blast. My fault, original gangster. I was eating some granola. But that's okay. Oh yeah, I got officially fired today. They called me and they're like, how come you haven't been coming in? It's like, well, I told my supervisor that I'm pretty much out of options. I can't get to work anymore. And then they're like, do you want to resign or do you want us to hit you with job abandonment? And I was like, I don't care really. And I was like, I guess I resign. Which probably means now I'm unable to get unemployment. But I wouldn't have been able to with job abandonment either, so I don't know. I mean, I could still try. Whatever. Oh yeah, I watched the new episode of Uchujin Mumu, and it made me want to start working out again, just because there's a character in it, and he was getting a little overweight, and his solution to that was that he was going to get one of those electric pads you put on your stomach that shock you and are supposed to, like, tone your muscles without having to work out. So when he started doing that, but then he ended up getting really fat because there's this girl that had a thing for him that she was into those of a larger size, so she kept giving him more and more food and telling him that he was getting buff. So at the end of the episode, he's like morbidly obese. And then, yeah, I don't know, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that could be me. So I need to start eating once a day and working out for 9 hours straight. Just become a straight up just like piece of sand. Single grain in weight. If my math is right, I just have to do this 14 more times. If my math is not right, then I don't know what to say. Math is mathing. The first time I ever heard someone say that is when I was working at that pizza place, and they were asking me why I was like shortchanging the thing. And then I was like, nah, see, if you count this out and add this together, and like, oh, now the math is mathing. And my first thought was, what are you talking about? Is this what the young people say these days? And that was it. I'm not gonna lie, like 10/10 of the slang I know of today's youth comes from both you and Zadaku-san, but also hi Zeddy-san. They never said that I was up to date with how youth speak sounds. You, yes, you. Yes, even you, Kakarot. The first time I ever heard the word crash out was from you. I had to look it up because he said understandable crash out. And I was like, what does that mean? And then I had to look it up and I was like, oh, okay, it's just how kids say getting mad. Or like having a moment or, having an episode. Well, I think I'm done eating that granola for now. I think is the key word, though. Let's see here. What the? And I bet you're thinking, why don't you just like natural AP region do this instead of like burning apples? And to that I have to say, I don't know. It's just whenever these come out, I always feel the urge to just complete them right away. Da Vinci? You're saying you don't think about that, so I had no reason to try and explain my actions? Well, I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, so I was watching a YouTube video about Kung Fu Panda today, and I was laying in bed, and I was like, yeah, when this video ends, I guess I'll take a nap. And that's when I got the call from my job, and I was like, you guys don't understand that you are interrupting my watching a video about Kung Fu Panda into taking a nap, like, time right now. It's like, you're lucky I've already been removed from my employment, or I would be upset. There's really nothing else to that story. I actually fell asleep at the part where I started talking about Kung Fu Panda 4. I thought Kung Fu Panda 4 was a good movie. I really did. I really enjoyed it. Seems like everyone else thinks differently, but I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. It's got the panda in it, and that lady, and those Furious 5 created characters, but they kind of just like disappear, and this, that, and the third. You haven't watched it? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like Kung Fu Panda when I first saw it. Like, I saw it in theaters when it was a new movie, and I was like, that's it? That's Kung Fu Panda? And then, like, I watched it again back in 2023, and yeah, I was like super duper, like, out of my gourd, under the influence, just super high, as they say. I don't mean, that's not even an as they say, that's what that was. Anyway, then I was like, this is the funniest movie I've seen in my entire life. And I bet you're thinking, that's why it was good to you. It's like, no, see, because then I watched the second and the third one while sober, and I still thought those were good movies. I was like, yeah, I mean, I really see the appeal to this. And then you said I have a real unique sense of fun. Yeah, that is true. I'm what you call an outlier. Like, if they ever put me in a focus group, I'd be like that vote that they really wouldn't count. Everyone would be like, yeah, this is so cool. And then you'd have me and be like, I don't know, dog, this is like the worst thing I've seen in my entire life. But I like the part where he picked up a banana. And then they'd be like, picked up banana, okay. Like, I don't know. My opinions on things should only be accepted if you understand the level of freak that I exude. I guess. Oh yeah, today's Wednesday. There's nothing significant about that. Or is it? Is today Tuesday? Maybe it's Friday. I don't know. No, I have something to do on Friday. I hope it's not Friday. I gotta go to my laser hair removal appointment on Friday. Oh hey, there is a new chapter of Absolute Superman. You know what that means. I don't know what it means. It's Thursday. Makes sense. Me when the zone is timing. Alternatively, I guess you could have said me when time is zoning. I really don't remember the last chapter of Absolute Superman. It wasn't bad. I just don't remember it. Honestly, I went and read all of the Absolute comics that are coming out for DC right now. And you know what? My favorite ones, like the best two that I would say that I would recommend to anyone is Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. The other ones are like kind of mid, but like, it's like cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Absolute Batman's like third for being the best one. It's really good, but like Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman easily clear. And then like I would say next up would be Absolute Superman, and then Absolute Green Lantern, and then Absolute Flash is by far like one of the worst things I've ever read in my entire life. like no hold back. Like it is actually just like a really bad comic book. And then you said that the beefed up Batman sounds cool. Well, why don't you read it? Like, you don't have to read. They're their own contained universe. Like, listen here. I'll save you like an hour. Like, the Absolute universe is a spin-off of like something that happened in like the comics. But like, effectively, it's just like Darkseid was beaten. And then Darkseid was all like, okay, I've been destroyed. You know what? You guys got me this time, but they fuse with the Spectre, so when they get beaten, they like send their essence into another universe. Instead of it being the Hand of Creation, which is like that white hand that's like the center of the multiverse in the DC universe, it's instead Darkseid's hand is the Hand of Creation, and he made a universe where life just sucks really bad for all the superheroes. Like he wanted to make a universe to where like they couldn't oppose him, but instead of just doing the normal person thing, where you would just like erase them from existence, he just made their lives suck really, really bad. Like he tried to take away all the parts that like the benefits they have, so they still have their powers and everything. It's just like, Superman doesn't have the Fortress of Solitude, or like anyone, he doesn't have crypto, he doesn't have anything. It's just him. And he's like scared and afraid. And then like Wonder Woman grew up in the underworld, and Batman's like a working class individual. Bro's just like a construction worker. So like, their lives just kind of suck, and like they have a lot more adversity, but they're still there and they're still like rising to the occasion. It's just a lot harder for them. And that's all like you need to know. Like you can just like pick them up from the beginning. I know you said that your time's limited, but like, if you read like one issue on like your lunch break, I'm sure you could do it. Like I know you could pull it off if you wanted to. And you said you already knew that? Well, excuse me. And then I jump off a bridge and die. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, if you wanted to, I'm sure you could like force it in. But like, yeah, shrug emoji. One of the laziest people you know. Yeah, that'll happen. Well, if you need a website to watch or read it, I can share you the one that I use. Unless you already have one, then just do what you do. Or if you were going to actually buy it, then go ahead and do that too. Any more stuff is expensive, but like what I do is that I like to consume stuff, and then if I like it, that's when I then will buy it. You know what I mean? Like I will consume something the pirate way, like Bjarg, shiver me timbers, but then if I like it, then I buy it. You want the site? Here, I'll just send you a direct link to Absolute Batman since you mentioned that one by name. But this website, sometimes if it's something older, like I'm talking like if it's from like 60 years ago, the scan quality is usually pretty bad. But if it's from within the last 20 years, the scans are generally really good. There's only really been like 1 or 2 times where I've been watching something and I'm all like, oh my goodness, did they get this with like, is this like Xeroxed in? But for the most part, they're all really high quality scans. But yeah, I really think that Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman are the best absolute comics. Like the Wonder Woman one is just really cool because it's got so much. It feels like it really leans a lot more into the lore of like Greek gods, which I feel like Wonder Woman does. But this one really feels like it's less like this is a Wonder Woman comic, and it's like, nah, this is more just like a comic book version of like fighting Greek gods. I think it's really cool. And then Martian Manhunter, the way that it's written, it feels like what's his name? Some dogs started barking. But what I was trying to say is that it feels like a Matsumoto Jiro manga, how it's just kind of like really trippy. I guess maybe trippy is the wrong word. That kind of makes it feel lame, but like that's the best word I could think to describe it. It's really surreal, there we go, if you want to be more artistic. Where like, it feels like stuff's kind of happening, and like you're being told what's happening, but like, it feels like you like missed an issue, but like in a good way, you know? It's like if one day someone just walks up to you and starts telling you about like trigonometry, but like the highest level of math you completed was like, you know, intro to algebra. You know what I mean? Like you get some of it, but then it's also like, what are they talking about? Like that's how a lot of it feels, but like in a good way, not where it's like annoyingly complicated. Also, the art style is really cool. Like I have nothing to sing but praises for that series. It is so cool. Unfortunately though, it's going to be a limited series, which means it's only going to be 12 issues long, and then after that it's just over, which is cool, because sometimes actually a lot of the time, contained stories like that are really good, because they have a definite beginning and ending, you know what I mean? Like it's going to have an actual story that plays out, whereas something that's going to continue on 5 ever, those can kind of drag out, and I mean not to say that something that kind of goes on forever can be bad, because sometimes stuff would just kind of be aimlessly going on, but it's fun. Like reading the Friedman manga. They're just like walking around, and unless it's one of the bad arcs, like the one the manga's been in for the last like 2 years, you know, it's like, it's just fun to see those goofballs goof around. I guess there's gonna be, not even I guess, they announced is the better word, that there's gonna be an absolute Green Arrow comic, which I imagine's gonna, I don't know, Green Arrow just is kind of lame to me. I'll be the first to say it, I don't think Green Arrow's that cool. And if you's got a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. I'd say pick better heroes. Like, if you're going tooth and nail in the arena right now, fighting for the honor of Oliver Queen, I think you need to fight better battles, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's better battles to be fought. But hey, don't stop rocking on my account, because I'm gonna read it. Even though I just said I don't really like Green Arrow that much, I'm gonna read the comic book when it comes out. Mostly because a lot of the time, these absolute comics, except for The Flash, and honestly Green Lantern too, are pretty cool. And I bet you're thinking, man, Celery, but you really like Green Lantern. Yeah, I do, but they kind of, I don't know, see, I'm not against it. It's happened before, but they got Mine Goat, Hal Jordan. He seems to be like he's taking a villain role, and I mean that's okay, but I don't like the way it's playing out. And I mean it's not even just that, it's like, oh, so you just don't want to see your goat washed? Yes, but also it's like, I don't know, if you're gonna do it, at least make it cool, you know what I mean? Like that's it. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least make it cool. It's like that Millie song String Theocracy, where it's like, if you're gonna control me, at least do it interesting and then theatrically. That's how I feel. It's like, if you're gonna wash my goat, at least use some high quality soap, okay? That one guy from like 2014 that was writing Green Lantern, was his name Robert Venditti? That's why I stopped reading, okay? Like, when Jeff Johns left, I was still like, I was still hopeful. I was like, I mean, Jeff Johns really made Green Lantern what it is today, but he's stepping down from the title. Hopefully Robert Venditti can pick up the slack, and just like keep it as good as it's been for the last like 20 years. He didn't. He didn't. He did not make it. He did not do a good job. It was so much so that I like stopped reading comic books in general, and now it's like, all right. It's like I'll go do something else. Like, I'll just move to North Korea at this point, dog. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. You watched the one where he was against Stewart? In the Absolute comics or something else? Something else. Oh, I see. Was he in parallax mode and had like those big shoulder pads and a bunch of sharp teeth? Because that was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. What was that called? Oh, I don't remember. It was either Emerald something or like Nightfall or something like that. But yeah, that happened. That's when he became. That was like how he led up to being what I would like Parallax. Hal Jordan kind of lost his mind, so to speak. In his defense, though, it's because his entire city was destroyed, and he was like filled with grief and was all like, "Man, like I could have stopped this if I had been there." And then he was like, well, maybe if I get enough Green Lantern rings, like, I can just, like, bring everyone back. So then, he, like, went and started killing everybody. And then, like, yeah. And then he, like, absorbed the power battery, and that's when he got those big shoulder pads. Which they then retconned to be a lot cooler and saying that he was possessed by an entity of fear called Parallax. We love Jeff Johns in this house. You know what we don't like in this house? Robert Venditti. Okay, I didn't like that. Because, yeah, I'm telling you, like, it was so cool. Like, all that stuff happened, and the big culmination where they fought Volthoom, and this, that, and the third. And then it's like, man, I mean, they just kind of had what could have been the end of, like, all Green Lantern lore, and I would have been happy. You're gonna hit this hub? Well, you have fun. You have fun. Rub-a-dub-dub. But, yeah, like, it really felt like they could have just ended it there and been like, yeah, this is, like, the end of all Green Lantern comic books, We kind of hit our no, what's the word? It's not peak, but the other one. Whatever. Anyway, it's like we kind of hit the summit. There we go. We hit the summit of the stories. Like, we've, past the climax. We've got to the resolution for everyone. We beat the big bad that's been hyped up for, like, 15 years. And it would have been cool, but instead they're like, yeah, well, it's over. It's like, pick up where they left off, Rob. And then Rob's just like, oh yeah, sure guys, whatever. And then there was just like, Hal Jordan leads the Green Lantern Corps, and it's like, okay, that could be cool, I guess, maybe, ideally. And then it's like, okay, well, he's like struggling with like all the responsibility, makes sense, I guess. And then, it gets to the part where they had like a whole It's like when Marvel, where they had like the scrolls, and like that one was taking over Captain America for like 5 ever, and then everyone lost faith in Captain America because they were like, well, how do we know anyone's not a scroll? Secret Invasion? That's what that was called, right? Well, they pretty much had that because there was like some shapeshifters, and they like took the form of Hal Jordan and were like saying crazy stuff. So then everyone was against Hal Jordan, and then like he lost his ring, and then he had like that experimental technology that was like that glove and that big battery on his back, and then yada yada this and yada yada that. I don't know, man. That's when I stopped reading it because I was like, man, this is lame. You're telling me that they fought a guy who could bend reality, and now they're losing to some shapeshifters? Like, that's okay. That's where I draw the line. You're telling me that they fought like a multiversal threat who had the ability to warp reality effectively. Not even effectively, could just literally warp reality. A guy who's like as old as the universe because they came from a different universe. And like they beat him. But again, you're telling me... And then another thing too, so there was a shapeshifter guy, and then also there was just like this really big guy. And that was it. That was like his whole thing. He was just really big and had a bunch of science. And I know that sounds like I'm a dunderhead when I say that, but that was it. Like he just had like a bunch of technology that like when they shot lasers of like green or whatever other, you know, emotional spectrum color, whenever they shot those, he could just like absorb it, and then like that was it. But again, you're telling me that a guy who was like made of the emotional spectrum and could again warp reality, they could beat him. Like I can't stress that part enough. They beat him. Effectively the god of the emotional spectrum, warping reality. They had to keep him in a special prison cell for like all of eternity, and he breaks out, and then it's like the end of the world. He's just destroying worlds and warping reality and making everyone's lives suck. So like, you're telling me that they could beat him, the Green Lantern boogeyman, and then it's like, yeah man, like these guys, this really big guy and these couple of like shapeshifters, it's too much for us. Like, we gotta step down. I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. 12 years ago. No, that was more like 9 years? No, 11 years ago? I don't know. Say what you will about the New 52, but Green Lantern maintained a really high level of quality the entire time. Mostly because it didn't reset its continuity. But that's that, really. This is all me, suffice to say that, like, I don't really like the Absolute Green Lantern comic. Also in this Absolute universe, Hal Jordan's like a reseller, which is another thing where I'm like, okay, that's too far. When he was like destroying worlds and killing all his friends, that was okay. But now he's a reseller. Okay, that's a step too far. Like, reel it in, reel it in. I don't know. Again, it's still, I think it's like only 5 issues in, so it could still turn out to be really cool. But at least right now, I'm not feeling it. But I will still read it, and I will still be like, okay, well, we'll see where it's going. But with the Flash one, I really think that one's just really bad. Like, there is nothing that you can tell me that's going to change my mind. I just genuinely cannot get myself to like it. And the thing is, I've never really disliked the Flash. It's just like, I don't know. It's just not interesting. It's less of like, well, okay, they're all kind of just like really suffering and sucking, and all these superheroes are like in the beginning of like their superheroing adventures. It's like what they're all at in the Absolute comics. But like the Flash one, I don't like especially. They're using Wally West, which, I mean, could be cool. A lot of people like Wally West. You know, he was the Flash for a while, following the Crisis on Infinite Earths and this, that, and whatever. But I don't know, it's just not interesting. I'm trying not to, you know what, who cares about spoilers? You know, his whole thing is that he, like, his dad was like a colonel, and colonel of military project of evil, and they were doing research underground. He just like opens the door, he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And then Barry Allen is like working on some dimensional rift thing, and then it like explodes, and then that's how Wally West becomes the Flash. And now he's all full of guilt and then angsty, and he runs away, and the government's just trying to catch him effectively, but they keep failing because, well, he has super speed. And they keep underestimating him. They're all like, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll just like stick out a real long rope and like he'll trip on it and fall." And then they're surprised when the dumb plans like that don't work. But they also have now Captain Cold and those other individuals. I don't remember what the Flash's evil team is called, but they're all here now. And they're all horribly mutated because of government experiments. But they've been tasked with hunting down the Flash. And again, so far they haven't been successful. But it also seems like the Flash can reverse the mutations, because he does it to one guy. I believe his name was Heatwave. But in the ultimate universe, or excuse me, the absolute universe, he's just kind of like a big mound of lava. It really just leaves a lot to be that's a lot of health you survive with. It just leaves a lot to be desired. Captain Boomerang? Well, you know he's Australian. That's scary enough. Not only does he have a boomerang, he's Australian. He's also in that comic book, The Absolute Universe. Absolute Flash. And he still is just a guy with a boomerang. Except they're like, I can't really tell. They're more like drones, but he talks to them like they're alive, much to the chagrin of his, compatriots. What villainous acts could he be doing? He could throw a boomerang into a window and it'd explode. Or he could throw a boomerang somewhere and like it hit someone really hard and they think, ouch, I got hit in the head with, what is this, a boomerang? And then while they're like in awe at how ridiculous it is to get hit in the head with a boomerang, now their stuff's getting stolen. What the? But how are you doing, Balls Lover? It's been a hot minute since we've heard from you. Oh, you mean Moomin Rider? Yeah, he does seem like a Moomin Rider created villain, if you're being, like, when you mention that, yeah, like he does. That would be Moomin Rider's, like, greatest foe. Some guy with a boomerang. Am I unemployed yet? Yeah, I am. I have lost my job. Actually, effective today, as far as legal paperwork goes. I was talking about it earlier, but yeah. They finally called me and like, are you coming in? And I'm like, unless you're gonna pick me up, no. I mean, I'm not against losing my job. I'm against having to find a new one. But I got like 2 weeks before things are gonna get really bad. So I guess this is a like hanging out for a little bit moment, and then I have to get back to reality. It's like, yeah, no job. And then a few weeks from now, no. You know what I mean? Which are the purple? Oh, I would say instead of there being a Lancelot in the corner that I guess you could say represents me, you would say that my voice is more just coming from the sky. Like, you know, that one funny video or gif of Willem the Foe where he's like looking up scared. That's kind of how it goes. From that one image where it's like when you hear someone, no, what is it? When you freshly shave your balls and someone says like you cut G. It's like that. Oops, I almost just made a horrible mistake. I was viewing the internet, but I half returned. And he thinks the drinks are talking to him. That's pretty funny. Or like that one video from those absolute nutcase SpongeBob comments where all the peanuts are telling him that he should blow up the Krusty Krab. And he's like, LOL, okay. Hang on, I'm using the internet. Okay, we're so back. Oh yeah, well. I'm fearful of if we're gonna be able to pull this off. So I had to look away. I couldn't bear to see reality. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Hit him with something like this, a little something like that, something like that. Yay. And now we win. Or maybe not. I already said it before, but really my only goal is to finish getting the bond. Ah. You want me to use Caligula? Well, if you insist. Well, I actually cannot use Caligula for this because this is only, like, you can only use extra class servants for this. But I can go over to NA real quick. Let's see here. Well, what's something we can do for you? I mean, I don't know. Sure, we can go and do this. Who do we want to... What kind of team do we build for this? I'm just going to toss someone on here. What is the Caligula team currently? Okay. I mean, honestly, this isn't bad. Let's bring Koyanskaya, though, just in case. Okay. Seems like a safe bet to me, Chief. Art thou ready? I'll take that as a yes. Okay. Pretty bad layout to start, but that's okay. Bot, comma, die. I'm trying to see here, honestly. Yeah, it's really not worth it to use any more buffs. Oh, I've made a mistake. There is a damage up CE. Oh well. If we can do this, it just shows that Caligula's just, you know, as strong as I say they are. Okay, cool. Are you... whatever. Do it, Caligula. Okay, cool. 174,000. Jeez. Goated or goated? Quite goated, yes. I'm trying to think here. I guess we should heal Chen Gong. We kind of need him for a bit longer. That's totally not going to come and bite me in the rear. Crit. Sweet. Okay, cool. Please crit. No, Caligula. That's fine. That's not fine. Knock it off. Please, Caligula. Okay, cool. Didn't have to hit both crits, but we'll take it. Stop. No. Oh, jeez. RNG be good to me? Or we'll just let, I guess, Qingong die. Sorry, Qingong, but your time is up. I should make a layout for when we use Caligula. Sweet. Man, we're okay. Well, we kind of have to use some skills here. I wanted to try and save it like another turn, but whatever. Doing some mental math here. I don't think it's worth it to use that yet. Why is that only level 8? I'm not going to bank on a 30% crit at max. Are you kidding? 101,000 damage. Bro, 10% crit hits it with ease. I guess I should have trusted, I should have trusted in the plan. I should not have sweat the technique. Goodbye, Hijikata. Well, given that we're kind of... Well, here's what we're going to try and do. I have... One of these gives crit stars, right? Nope. This is just that. Does this give crit stars? Nope. Dang. Okay, this might not be the best one, then. Oh, well. Well, we're going to try for a Caligula chain here. Caligula, this is honestly your last chance to do big damage. Trust in the process. Trust in the process. One more. Nope, he didn't hit a crit. Still took him out though. It's not looking good for Caligula. But he survived. I bet you nothing at all he's going to hit this 20% arts crit. Nope, he didn't. Glad I didn't bet anything. Can he do it? Will he pull it off? Let's find out this time on DBZ. The Caligula Z. Nope, but I mean, he got the kill. I guess that's all that matters, right? Very entertaining and insightful. Yeah, I guess so. I more find these really nerve-wracking. Because Caligula, he's not even a glass cannon. He's more like a glass geyser. Because it takes him a lot to erupt. And when he does, it's explosive. But like, you know, chances are he's going to bust. As in break before he bursts. But yeah, I guess so. It was fun. It sure was something. Sure was something. This seems like a good enough group of gals to get the job done. 134,000 more. How many more times do I have to do this? Divide this by 14,716. Oh, just like 9 more times? Okay, sweet. 450k points. And you use them sparingly, and I thank you for doing so. Well, actually, now that I have my entire life open back up, we can go back to our disgusting stream schedules where I would stream for like... Well, actually, we haven't done 12-hour streams since like 2023. But I mean, I can change that. And you say, but he's been here since 2018. Yeah, but the thing is that I fairly often take like a year or so breaks off of streaming just out of nowhere without telling anyone and just like disappear. And then people think I'm dead. You know what I mean? And then I just kind of like spawn in and then it's like, oh, word. And I'm like, yep, I'm here. Many such cases. Hang on, I'm doing some mental math here. Oh yeah, now that I'm unemployed again, we can go back to playing Pokemon, maybe, ideally. I don't know, it's really just my living situation that makes it difficult to find time to play video games right now. As I've said before, with how I'm like sleeping in a walkway with my computer set up in a walkway as well. So it's kind of hard to like coordinate my schedule to where I don't feel like miserably tired. And also be like having time to where I'm not gonna like get hit with a brick. Truly a focus type moment, you know what I mean? Oh, Zadaku-san, there's a new chapter of Superman that came out today. Are you tapping in or what? That song was kind of weak. And it was the last song. Evil, comma, die. You thought that was the game soundtrack? No. That's music I'm intentionally listening to. This is the game soundtrack.
摂理である。
そうですか。
ザサラソウジュの花のすなわちこの世の摂理を知るがいい。諸行無常超過失墜。
いい加減になさい。自らの手で
ザ
地のグランマリーである。身の程はそんなものなのかしら。かわせるかしら。
過激は影なれば大殺遂行オンザ
Yes.
サラソウジュの花のすなわちこの世の摂理を知るがいい。
Yeah, like honestly, it's loud. Sound effects in this game. I mean, I could turn it down, but I just never have the sound on in general. So I never have the need to do so.
ここまでオーディンメバニシングラブラ
Just mildly eardrum piercing.
これですシュン力を入れこれを進もうどこまでも冒険の旅路に頼りにして
オンザ
Sweet, sweet. And now she's
儚き
deceased.
この世はなべて散りあくた我が王貴様を捕らえたと諸行無常調査必須。
加減になさい。ありえない。
見よサラソウジュが咲く。
We're so close to being done, I can taste it. And then you know what happens? We then have to grind the extra class too. But I really won't go that hard on that today. The only reason I'm doing so much grinding right now is just because I wanted to get Kagekiyo-chan up to Bond 10. Literally my only goal. Well, anyway, back to the old grind. Double the farming. Yeah. Well, isn't the end of part 2 coming like at the end, or well, what is part 3? Whatever. The end of like game stories like this year, right? So aren't they just trying to like speed run it so that we can get the rest of the grand classes before that? That's what it feels like. Because they could have easily just made this like 2 separate months instead of just like cramming into one. December, yeah, so that's what I'm assuming's happening here. Is that they're like, well, get 2 classes out now. All we have left now is what after this? We got Archer, Writer, Caster, and Assassin. So we got like 4 left. I'm just trying to hurry up and get it done. Oops, I almost hit the arm. Yay. I wonder when the game's end of service will be. I mean, people have been speculating and saying stuff for like since the game came out, it feels like. But like if the conclusion of the main story is not going to be end of service, I wonder if the game's just going to go into its zombie arc where it's going to effectively be online forever. And like there's just like daily quests. Like we'll have a few years of maybe new content to just like be fun in the sun. And then after that it's just going to be like, yeah, just log in and do your dailies for the rest of time. I don't even know. Like, if the game did ever enter that state, I wish I could say I'd stop playing it, but chances are I'd still play the game. I have accepted my fate as a loser. Well, I guess I hope this kills because I didn't do the guts. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah. Maybe in a few years. That's what I'm thinking. Like a few years of fun in the sun, and then it's all done. Or they'll make F Go 2. Already planning the next anniversary servant. They should be planning. Well, no. If they're doing that, then they're probably already have planned what the New Year's servant's gonna be. Honestly, if I'm gonna be real with you, Galahad feels like they'll be the New Year's servant. And that's why we got Olga Marie as the anniversary for this year. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I would see Galahad as like a New Year's servant. But I would love to be proved wrong and we just never get Galahad as a servant. Because I really like the idea of him just like, just being that final boss. And that's it. But if Olga Marie is here to be, then nothing sacred And anyone can just be a servant now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm reading that Superman comic book on and off here and there while I use Noble Phantasms. It kind of makes it a fun, like, time-based game. It's like, oh man, I have 13 seconds to read this page. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that one song by Puni Puni Dinky. You know, the one that's like, life is super dope? I don't know if I feel that life is super dope, but life is something. Oh, I've heard this song before. Which shouldn't be surprising, because this isn't the first time I've ever listened to this band. It's just been years since I last have. No, you survive with a smidgen of health. But that's alright, because all we have to do now is this. Nice. $90,000. This is so great because earlier today there was like, what, 300,000 points that I've gotten. Why is she such a hard servant to bond? Whatever. She's got a heart of darkness. Like that book. Yay. There's gonna be that fairly big Smash tournament this weekend. I always feel like a loser when I announce video game fighting tournaments, but they make such good background noise. Just people hooping and hollering about this, that, and the third. Oh man, they just did this, that, and the third. And then you're like, oh man, they just did this, that, and the third. While you're doing something completely different. At least I think it makes good background noise. That was the only good thing about working weekends, was that I didn't have to feel obligated to check those out. But no longer do I have a position of workage. So that means I can waste all the time I want. I don't want to do that though. But I do it anyway, so I don't know what to say. Banana bread. I'm doing some mental math here. We're not going to do anywhere enough damage. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, it all works out in the end. I'm looking something up on the internet, so bear with me a second. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, that, and the third. Oh, pretty funny what happened. So the other day I was just like enjoying life, and the cat, she came and she jumped up on my keyboard and laid down on it, and then it made what was like a little black bar in the the left hand screen of BlueStacks to pop up, and it was like, I guess, a performance like marker, because it was just telling me what the FPS was and things like that. But I could find nothing on the internet that would help me get rid of that. Like, I couldn't figure out how to get it to go away. So I just ended up closing it and just reopening it, and that was it. Got it to go away. But I thought it was funny, because I even looked it up on the internet, and nothing on BlueStacks had any information for me. And the only thing I could find was a Reddit post from 7 years ago, where some guy said that his girlfriend stepped on his keyboard and that popped up. And then someone in the comments said, yeah, just have her use her other foot to step on it. Which is, I guess, kind of funny. But yeah, luckily just closing it got it to come back up normal. Unluckily, though, was that it seemed like there was nothing documented to help me out in my time of need. Just got here. It's been several months since we last heard from you. How do? And I'm going to be so happy when I can switch the Grand Servant over to Kagekiyo-chan, because I feel like, well, no, I don't even feel like it. It would just be so much easier to grind this if she was the, Grand Servant instead of the Pope. This is the worst day of my life. How? 10% short? Whatever. Oh, geez, I also forgot to do that buff. I was distracted. Forces of evil. How's it been? I mean, it's alright. Life is super dope. I wouldn't say that much, but it's like, it's been worse. How about you? That was a fair amount of damage there. A fair amount. Hey. I can do this. I can do this. Dies. You just finished watching Squid Game. Did you like it? I've never seen a Squid Game before. Unless you're talking about Ikamusume. I've seen Ikamusume. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Shinryaku Ikamusume. Kyun. You know that show. That's clearly what you're talking about, right? Ouch. It's a shame that the new Fate Extra game got delayed, but I guess I'm glad it got delayed because, you know, that means like it's gonna have more time to be a more polished and good game, but I was looking forward to playing it this year. Do you think Olga Marie's pretty cool? I mean, she's large. Isn't this Grand Olga Marie? Well, her name literally says Gran Marie. But if you just looked up like Olga Marie Efko, then there you go. I don't know if you'll find it searching it like that, but just say Olga Marie. Gran like grandma. Not feeling this. Kazekami Shoujo. Windy God Girl, as it's said in its English name. Yay, Bond 11 Scott. I failed to take a screenshot, hang on. There we go. Two for the price of one. Intention. Okay, so we probably have enough of those, but I didn't see how far are we. I hope it's under 70,000 at least. I can't take it anymore. Somebody rescue me. No, we definitely don't. You have to do that like 40 times. Man. And I wish there was a faster way to just get to the grand score here, but whatever. Get away from me. So close, I can taste it. Just one more battle and we can finish that off. But first. Wrong one. But first. Hooray. Who's ready to get back on the grind? Not me. Ugh. Losing steam. Need to be rescued. Kagekiyo-chan, are you almost there? Nah, kind of. I don't even know what I would do if I wasn't doing this right now. Go to bed, I guess. How many more times? We're at 61,000, so 61,360. Divide that by about 14,716. Okay, 4 more times to go. We can do this. 2 times. I wish. I wish. But hi, Dusty Egg. Yep, this looks like a good enough group of gals to get the job done. We already listened to this full album. Why are we listening to it a second time? It wasn't good enough to hear twice. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I really... Let's see here. As far as these leftover Shion albums go, there's just like 2 more I really want to listen to. Some, for example... What? I don't remember this one. Like, they're not bad albums. It's just like, I don't want to hear them. Bro, hit them with that. They're not bad. I just don't care. Oh, it's this one? I don't want to hear this either. I think I have this one downloaded already. Oh, I have the re-release of it, which is okay with me. What's this? Something I don't care. Honestly, I don't really want to hear any of these last albums there. Let's listen to this Adachi Ray album instead. Okay. Back at it again at the Krispy Kreme. And then you said, hey, it's Ushiwakamaru, but not. What does that mean? This is clearly Ushiwakamaru with an asterisk at the end. But yeah, pretty much. Okay, back at it again. And then hi, Iron Valiant 39. Nice to see you're back at it again, eating tuna from the bowl. I mean, like, lore-wise, she is Ushiwakamaru, but she's also, you know, Taira no Kagekiyo. It's like Ushiwakamaru's body, but Taira no Kagekiyo's personality. But actually, both personalities are in there. It's just one of them is the more dominant one, you know? Sushi guacamole. That's really funny. Usually my go-to food pun is sushi wakamaru, but that one works too. They did the fusion dance. Yeah, but like schizophrenia style, less like a cool quirky dance that makes you stronger. More like voices in my head type of fusion dance. I had something I was supposed to do for a job today. I didn't forget, I just straight up didn't do it. I won't even lie to you. And they needed me to send them some documents, and I was like, don't worry, I got this. And I just didn't. Like just straight up, I was just like, don't worry, I got this. It doesn't have this at all. In my defense, they want a document, but I don't know where mine is. I need to order a new one. It's the proof that I'm educated. And they're like, yeah, the digital one you sent us is not good enough. We need a picture of your physical one. And I was like, I don't know where that is. I need to buy a new one. And I meant to do that, but man, if I'm going to spend money, I want to spend money on something I actually want. Like $23 on a piece of paper. But like $23 on like a cute looking doll? Say less. Like actually, say less. Yeah, you gotta do that for that word. That word is evil. $11 on a PNG today. Aren't you unemployed for like the last several months? Shouldn't that $11 have been like bone marrow to you? I'm glad you have your priorities in check, you know, you're like, yeah, this is like bone marrow to me, but I can spin it on this. Just being a fool. That's my boy right there. Birthed him myself. Did I roll for Olga Marie? Clearly you haven't been here in a while. Clearly you forgot what kind of lady I am in the time that it's been since the last stream you came out to. The short answer is no. The long answer is what I just told you. Koyanskaya. Oh, did you do like a... Did you do the Destiny roll? Or something equally cool? You can see the contents of my Destiny roll in the Discord. To 40 health! Kama and Amakusa. Destiny roll style. I guess that's pretty cool if you wanted them. But then again, 2 for 1. Pretty tasty. What did you need them NP2 for? What kind of like evil scheming are you doing? Like, are you really using him that much? You're all like, man, I sure do love using Amakusa. I wish his NP didn't hit like a wet noodle. I mean, I guess whatever works. And clearly it's working. I'm going to suffocate. Ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. I've been doing this all day. Somebody rescue me. Yeah, actually, Zadaku-san's spitting. You know, if you want more MP damage, just MP5. Just MP5. It's just that easy. Just roll 5 of them. Just simple as. Simple as. Oh yeah. Speaking of rolling with stuff, I finally got a servant from the free rolls we've been getting from doing the story summon rolls that are free. I got Asclepius. It's pretty cool, right? You know, you just like one Asclepius after like 4 days of like these free rolls. Finally, guys, finally. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Actually, I've gotten 3-star CEs, and then, you know, finally I got Asclepius. Now I have NP2 Asclepius. I think I won. I think about this one time my paternal grandparents were watching TV and the sound was turned down to like 3. It was like really, really low on the TV. And my grandma was just kind of like, why are we watching the TV so quiet? And then they're like, it's like, can you even hear it? My grandma's like, no. And they're like, what are you doing, reading lips then? Just turn it up. And I don't know. I just thought I don't know. I just thought about that for some reason. But I thought that was, I don't know, it's just really funny to me. That bickering, it's like, yeah, I mean, she has a point though. It's like, why did you have the volume down so low? Did you just not want to hear what they were saying, but wanted to see them doing stuff on TV? That's understandable, but just hit the mute button. Why tease yourself with the volume at like 3? Actually, I know why I thought about that, because the beginning of that last song, I felt like I could hardly hear it. And I was like, man, I guess I could turn it up. But then I didn't, and I was like, why, what's stopping me from doing that? And then I remembered that whole exchange, and then I shared it with you guys. And that brings us up to speed. Hooray! Evil, evil, evil. Someone destroy that person in chat. No one says, hey friend, and then a wave emoji. That is clearly someone who is nothing but pure and unadulterated malice. Get owned, freak. Don't no one ever come looking for friends. There's always ulterior motives. Friendship died years ago. All we have left are scams. I saw someone one time talking about how hard it is to, like, make friends on the internet. And then I was like, I guess they're kind of, like, not wrong. Like, anymore, it really does feel like you have to already be a part of a community. Or, like, know someone who's in a community and they, like, let you into it. Anymore, everyone's kind of, like, in their own private worlds, like Discord servers. And they have like a bunch of lore and whatever already built up, and it's like, well, do you hop into this or like what do? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It depends. Like on one hand, I see where they're coming from, but on the other hand too, I feel like I've never really had a problem just like sending someone a picture of like, I don't know, Toshino Kyoko eating a banana, and then be like, this hard, right? And then they're like, I guess. And then that's like how every one of my friendships ever on the internet have started. Usually it's not a picture of Toshino Kyoko. It's just she came to mind for some reason. But like, whatever. When you say that's how all friendships are. Yeah. You forgot how we became friends? I remember, and I'll tell you the story again. You commented on it was some image. I don't remember what it was. And you had your profile picture as Kyohei from Pokemon Black and White 2. And I was like, hey, that's Kyohei from Pokemon Black and White 2. And then I followed you. And then at some point I just DM'd you some picture or something like, this hard, right? And then ever since then we've been talking. For like the last like 3 years. Many such cases. Oh, but I guess the point I was trying to make is that it does feel like everyone is pretty much already set up into their, like, communities of sort. Because, like, you know, most people already do have stuff and they're not really, like, looking to join something. It's like, unless, like, I don't know, you're like John Markiplier, most people are going to try and invite you to the thing they already have. Which leads me back to like what that bot was saying about, it's like, hey guys, here's my Discord, I'm looking for friends. I feel like that's not even like a disingenuine, is that the word? Thing to like see. But just the presentation of that, it's like, yeah, you are an evil individual seeking to rip out my lungs. In all honesty, it might have actually been 2021 that we met Adesti Egu-san. I just know it was, I'm pretty sure it was like either early 2022 or like mid 2021. Somewhere in there. Chances are it was probably 2021, but it took me till the end of that, if not the beginning of 2022, to actually reach out. You lost the concept of time. Yeah, it stinks. The older you get, the more time just starts to like flow together. And the next thing you know, like 9 months go by and you're like, I thought it was January. You know what I mean? It was cool when you were a kid because it felt like every day was like an actual 24 hours. But then when you become an adult, it's just like 24 hours. You're lucky if you get 3. And then you slap your knee and laugh. No, that's what they mean when people say like the years kind of sneak up on you. Because they really do. Like, you just kind of like hit terminal velocity and you just like, the way that I guess you process time changes, or it has to or something. Because like when you're a kid, it's like, man, this day took forever. But like, time just kind of is just going normal. But then like when you, again, like hit terminal velocity, all of a sudden you wake up to go to work on Monday. And then next thing you know, you're going to bed Sunday night. Like, time just, like, flies by. And then you know that you're, like, 56, and then you're like, dang, I'm 56 years old. And then next thing you know, like, you're, like, really old. And then you die. One time I talked to this Thai guy on the phone, and I worked at that electric company. And they were effectively saying that. They're like, the years really sneak up on you. You don't really think it, and people tell you that all the time, but they really do. Like, time will just go by, and next thing you know it, I think they were like 90 something. But they were like saying it, they're like, yeah, it's like, next thing I knew, I just kind of woke up one day and I was 90 years old. And then they were like yapping about this, that, and the third. Mostly they were talking about how when they lived, I want to say it was Thailand, I'm pretty sure. But when they lived there, they're like, yeah, I got used to the humidity. But then I moved over to the States and I lost all immunity to like humidity and heat. And now I find myself getting owned when it's warm and hot out here. And then a yada yada this and a yada yada that. And it was like, yeah, I mean, just making sense what you're saying. But like the point of what they were trying to tell me is that like you get old and then you die. The other thing too is that they were saying, they're like, the worst part is that like, your body, it just gets older and older, and like you can get a replacement hip, but you can't get a replacement brain. And then it's all like, I guess you're right, old dude. I guess you're right. I mean, I guess you can, but then you just be an entirely different person. So I got a brain transplant. It's like, okay, and it's like, well, now I'm no longer myself. I'm just like someone else is living in my body, which is not what I wanted, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you said that I'm old. I mean, you're right. Like, you are like unironically right, yes. And it's not fun, but I don't know what you want to hear from me. Speaking of old people problems, I really hope that whatever medical facility hurry us up and gets back to me about that CAT scan. I just want it over with. Not even just like the part where they're gonna be like, yeah man, you're gonna die. I'm just waiting for it to, I just want it to be done so that I have like my schedule clear again, you know what I mean? The whole, you'll be receiving a call sometime in the next 2 weeks. That's not fun, okay? It's not fun to live your life waiting for a call within the next, and I quote, 2 weeks. But what you gonna do? Nothing, clearly, because I haven't done anything. We only have to do this one more time, right? And then I'm finally free from this one. I got the other one to do. But after this, I'm finally free from this one. So what you're saying is that I should explode on impact? And I mean, I would agree, but like, I don't know how many more explosions on impact I got in on. You know, like I might have one left in me and then I blow up and then I die. And what if it's like uncool and I miss? What if they have like the anti-bomb tech and they just take minimal damage and then now I exploded for nothing? I think we can do it. Damp ability. Yeah. They're just a Polywrath in there. It's like, don't worry, we have our company Polywrath. Me. Aw, man. And explode. Self-destruct. Wait, but then you just can't even explode in that situation. So I would just like be like, cat, and then I'd like get real huge and about to explode, but then I would deflate. And then they'd probably use like Vine Whip or something. Assuming that I'm a Graveler, I guess. Well, actually, no. C-Dot can learn self-destruct. If you just choose not to evolve your C-Dot, at level 50 it learns self-destruct. I think that's really funny. Maybe I'm just like insane, but I think that's hilarious. C-Dot. Self-destruct. Huh? Explodes. Or is it explosion? Oh, it's explosion. My fault, my fault. It's not self-destruct. Let's see. Well, they stopped making Pokemon games after Gen 4. And in Gen 4, it learns at a level 43. Explosion was that, and then just get blown up. I want to play Pokemon. But like I keep saying, it's like I want to play other games, but just given my current living situation, it's really not fun. Because, you know, I spent all that money and I got my DS Fat modded to where it has like new screens, and then I have it like controller compatible and I can plug it into the PC, and it's like all fine and dandy and really cool. It's just I haven't been able to play it. And I mean, I guess now that I'm unemployed, I have the time to do so. It's just my setup sucks. Like, I don't have the room for it. I know that sounds insane, but I don't have my desk that I normally have. So like I have like what feels like a fifth of the room that I normally have. So like, where would I put my DS? Just tape it to my monitor? And I bet you're thinking, just hold it in your hands. Well, then what's the point of the controller mod I got, huh? Just to get owned? Well, anyway, there's a solution to all these, but whatever. Maybe find a drawer. No, see, that's the thing. I guess you haven't been out to a stream in several months, so I can't blame you, but like, I'm not in my normal setup. I effectively have my computer set up in a walkway, so I don't have a lot of room. Like, the desk I have is significantly smaller than the one I have, and it barely fits all, like, my keyboard, monitor, and everything. And, like, if I put it on my desk, or my makeshift desk, good chance it's just gonna fall. And I did not spend as much money as I did on this thing to break it. But whatever. I mean, it'll work itself out. We'll finish playing Pokemon Pearl one of these days. That day's just not today or tomorrow, I don't think. Or maybe the next day. Or the next day. Or the next day. Or the next day. Is there an estimate when I get my room back? I'm thinking maybe November or October if I'm lucky. Because they have not even started construction. They can't even get started yet. And then even then there's still the whole lawsuit and everything going on. So like, the actual construction itself is probably only going to take like 2 months. But they can't even get started for like several months. So it could be a while. Construction crew needs to die. That's what I'm saying. I'm still upset about how they ruined a bunch of my stuff. Like that TV. There is no need to put all that plaster on my TV. Like, it could have just moved. The TV's smaller than a computer monitor, man. Like, sure, it was cheap. They didn't have to ruin it. That's the part that gets me the worst every time, man. I'm like, well, there goes my TV. Oh, well, hang on. It looks like this. Let's see. This song, though, some message popped up. This one, well, we've actually listened to this full album. I've just realized. But this song's called, like, I don't know, Fault. It's spelled F, the number 4, A-L-T. Oh, F4 Alt, I guess is how you'd say it. We'll finish the song. We gotta move on to another album after this. Construction crews are surprisingly careless, especially when they don't care and are, like, doing stuff illegally. Ouch. What are we gonna listen to next? What's this? Nosono Jump Ship. What is this? Is this more Vocaloid music? I think it is. Well, we'll try it out. It's a No Sono album. Hang on, I'm doing some mental math. Alright, cool. Do it, Kagekiyo-chan. Close. Okay. Well, that was the wrong thing I just closed. Oops, my fault. There we go. Now we're back on track. I'm pretty hungry. Too bad I ain't got nothing to eat. Oh. Oh yeah, so this whole thing, this album is like songs from Idolmaster, but Vocaloid covered. Hang on. I'm investigating something. Is that Kafu? That's what I was trying to figure out. I wasn't able to deduce it. And I went to their website, and they don't list it. I believe in you, Kagekiyo-chan. This is your final chance to slice and dice her. Yay. I feel incredibly tired out of nowhere. Somebody called the constable. Hooray! Okay, I'm back. Hooray. Finally, I'm free to go and do the other quests. Because you're never truly free when it comes to committing to commitment. Yay, last one. Hooray. Are the... Oh man, I needed to stay in there. But are those quests that are like, do the duel this amount of times? Is it for either one, or do you have to do like 60 for both of them? Sweet. It can be hard, but Kagekiyo specifically hard because to get her from Bond 9 to 10, she needs 399,000 points. It is literally all I have been doing today, has been trying to finish this off. Hooray. Yep, different servants have different bond whatevers. Like, some of them, it just depends. They usually have like the same total they have to get to, usually. But like the different star or diamonds or whatever, they'll be varying. Like some of them have like really easy, like it'll be 60,000 for the first one, but the second one might be like 100,000. You know, it just depends on the servant. But I think that's the largest I've ever seen from like a 9 to 10. Like that was just like disgusting. Like bro said, yeah man, 11 billion million quintillion. And then it's like, well gee, thanks I guess. Thanks for making my life suck. You know what I mean? Well, let's try this out. Oh shoot, I need to back out. I didn't mean to have one of the pods. No! No! I also gotta go and upgrade. Get her up to Bond 11. Man. We gotta back out of this. Shut up. Anbisto. Yeah, 3 health bars. Anyway. Yeah, honestly. You're right. Bro was like, undead, unluck? How about I get me an unbeast? And then everyone laughed. And then he's like, I'm serious. And then they're like, well, whatever, I guess, sure. It is. I do have to do this one 50. Man. And just why did they find the need to separate? They just want us to grind. Oh no, I almost just made the same mistake twice. But they just want us to grind 50 times for each of these. This is insane. Actual no life status. Okay, so that's that. Next thing up, we go here. Select you. Turn off my last 3 pots. Seems like a good enough group to do the rest. They do want us in the meat grinder, and it's not even the summer event yet. Listen, I'd be okay if this was the summer event for the year. We only have 6 days to do this too, to where it costs 0 pods. I thought normally it was 2 weeks. No, I think it's always been just a week. This stinks. Sincerely. Shut up. Olga Marie, I don't care for thee. The mats are pretty good. I honestly haven't been paying attention. But I'll take your word for it. 3 types of golden gems. I see. Yeah, I have not been paying attention. I'm glad you have. This is gonna do no damage. Aw, man, is it slow? Man, it is slow-mo. No! I guess I'm glad, because it's always really expensive trying to get up extra class servants. So you always need either a bunch of weird gems or just like a bunch of materials right off the bat. Like straight out of the gate. They're just like, perish. And it's like, well, gee, thanks. Marty, I'm scared. Well, there goes my support. In the terrible event that we lose, I'll just put a couple of losers up front. There we go. Resistance to quick for 1 turn. That's actually not that bad if it's just 1 turn. Let's see how it goes. Get owned, loser. I'm the loser. Do we want to? I guess we can do it now. Might as well. Let's ensure that we can take her out with this attack. Please. I'm begging you. Yeah, okay, there was no doubt, because last time we did half her health bar without any buffs except for her own, so. It's all good. There. 900,000.
拝聴なさい。この星を滑るものである。神に命令してよい。言うことがあるでしょ。
Well, good. Ooh, Noble Phantasm for real. Good timing, I guess, because we did the NP down. Oh no, not her creating the history of Earth again, and then shooting it at us in a laser. You talking about a Grand Servant? Because yeah, you can only have one Grand Servant per class. I think we all just died. Oh no, okay, just they did. Yeah, it's one per class. Kagekiyo-chan! You'd let something as simple as the entirety of human history hitting you kill you? Real one like me, I'd simply just dodge. Just step to the left a little bit. Yep, that one. I'd say dodges, and I'd put it in asterisks like that. Your attack is impressive, but check this out. Dodge. I should have brought a better Mystic Code, like the one that lets you reduce cooldown time, but instead, here we are. A million health. Well, actually, we have an evade on, so we're actually going to, in asterisks, dodges this one. See? Ouch. Nice NP regen, that's what I'm saying. Ah man, and then this is bad. We'll just have to wait a turn before we NP. I guess it's not that bad. Hitting all these crits though is kind of insane. Her laugh reminds me of Mandark from, you know, Dexter's Laboratory. You can do it, Kagekiyo-chan. If I've never believed in anyone, you're not one of those people. Mandork. Yes, that guy. Susan. Hey, we did it.
乾杯よ。いいわ。今回は負けを認めましょう。エクストラクラスの未来はあなたたちに託したわ。
Yes, I too want to see the future of the extra class. Yay. A bunch of loot. She sure is saying something. She said that she'll let us see her loss this time, something to that effect. And then she said something about us seeing the future of the extra class. I didn't really like this album. I am going to delete it. I know this next one is shoegaze. If it'll play. It's not. It's doing that thing where it won't. I guess I'll try and play it in that other one. What is it? Windows Media Spieler. That one. Okay, well that just froze everything. Great, now my whole computer's frozen. Okay, no, I guess that's working still. And you said the Stormboarder, the strongest platform ever made. It's true. Unknown to breakage. Hang on, I gotta get everything working. This is so dumb. There we go. Alright, we should hopefully be doing a lot more damage. Top ramen cups are so flavorless. Now you get the taste of salt. I guess you get what you pay for, huh? So just hot noodle? Yeah, I guess your body just gets the flavor. As in, your body just suffers from all the salt. Ah, she's not holding Black Grail. Hopefully she still does enough damage. Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, it'd be even more like ground shaking damage, but whatever. If only I had one more Black Grail, I could then maximum break it, and everyone would be in for a world of hurt. But alas, that is not the case. Text message. A refund from PayPal? I mean, hey, whatever works, right? Peculiar is what you say? Nah, not really. I bought something and the seller canceled it. Like, instead of shipping it to me, they're like, nah, you can just have your money back. To which I say, okay, cool. I don't know when PayPal started sending text messages about that. I know they've always sent emails, and they sent me the email too. So, I know it was them. I even got an email from the site that I bought it from. And he said, what was the item? Dolls as usual. And yes, it will happen again. I just remembered something of utmost importance. Yep, 4 more times to go. Dog, I don't want to do this anymore. I gotta take a break. But I'm instead just going to use the restroom and then we'll finish it out. Sounds like the plan, right? So I'll be right back.
I hate this channel.
No! No!
I hate this channel.
No! No!
I hate this channel.
No! No!
Yay. Okay, we are so back. This and that. Got some water. Master EXP, give that to me. I'm almost watching, bleh, I'm almost done watching Aura Battler Dunbine, and I'm glad. I've just come to accept I don't like the show very much. I've definitely seen worse series, but I just don't really like this one. I wanted to like it because it's made by the same guy who made Gundam, but it's just not for me. I got like less than, I think I have like 16 episodes left, I want to say. I've been watching it for a good 3 months now, and it really has not been a pleasurable experience. It's more been like, man, I can't wait until I'm done watching this show. Which I, again, didn't want it to be that way. It's just kind of how it's ended up. Yeah, so Kagekiyo-chan's Bond 10 craft essence gives her NP damage up by 30%. That's why she's still doing so much damage despite not having the black grail on. That's pretty cool. Neat to know. Any percent glitchless run. The static-like sound? Do you mean in this song? Because that's just shoegaze, baby. It always has that weird sound. If you're hearing something else, though, independent of that, please let me know. Or is it strictly coming from the music? From the music? Okay. Yeah, I mean, shrug emoji. Best I can do is change the volume from 6 to 4. You survived 11,000 health, you cretin. Makes you think something's broken. What's broken is on the inside. That's what shoegaze makes you feel. Like you're what's broken. It's music for lonely losers. According to some study, people that feel lonely tend to listen to a lot of shoegaze. Am I feeling lonely? Not particularly. I don't actually listen to a lot of shoegaze. I had an arc where I listened to a lot of shoegaze, but I don't know, I really don't anymore. Except for like one-offs where I listen to albums like this because I found out about it and I was like, oh, this seems pretty neat. And that's pretty much all there is to that story. I really said, well, these are some pretty cool bananas. And then I screamed. That's so funny. I wish I could say sorry, Grandpa, but like, it's Shoegaze Wednesday. Or whatever day it is. I think it's Wednesday. Pretty sure it's Wednesday. Hana to misairu. Flowers and missiles? I think it's playing the songs out of order. Unless we've already listened to 7 songs. And 900,000 more to go. Which, honestly, I think we can do it this next turn. The coveted 3-turn farming. All it takes is good RNG. Just 2 more times to go. Just 2 more. And then I'm gonna go lay in bed for like an hour and probably end up falling asleep, and then I'll wake up and then I'll do something else. And I'm getting pretty tired. I can do this. I can do this. I don't care how much you beg, plead, and cry. I'm not buying you Burger King. I told you about the last time I had Burger King, right? If not, I'm going to tell you again. Or let me rephrase that. If so, I'm going to tell you again. If not, you're hearing it for the first time. And I've never been a fan of Burger King, and this was before I became a vegetarian. And it was 2020, and it was like shortly before. This was like, it was Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 2020. And I went out with my paternal grandparents. We went to a Walmart. And I bought a pair of corduroy bright pink pants. And, well, actually they bought it for me as like a Valentine's Day gift. And I was like, sweet, thanks. And then we went to a Burger King afterwards. And, you know, I'm lactose intolerant, but it's not that bad. But it's pretty bad. It just depends. Like, sometimes it's like someone mentions the word cheese, and I start, like, dying internally. But yeah, we had gotten burgers, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll have whatever burger. And I was like, no cheese. And the lady at the counter is like, oh yeah, well I have to have cheese because I have a calcium deficiency. And to which I was then like, okay, that's cool. I don't care. Like, it's like, what does you and your calcium deficiency have to do with me asking for no cheese on a burger? Like, I don't care. Of course I didn't say that. I just kind of nodded politely and was like, oh, okay. Anyway, lo and behold, I get the burger, and then I just want to go and check and see, and then it has a slice of cheese on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I see how it is there, Gertrude, or whatever your name was. And then my grandma specifically was like, this lady's been working here for like 10 years. Normally she's really good at her job. And then I thought, yeah, but she had the hate and spite because I asked for no cheese, and I guess that was just like the evil word that day. Anyway, being lactose intolerant, and it's like a specific like stomach pain, I feel like, when you have like a lactose intolerant evacuation of your guts. But yeah, my stomach hurt so bad for the rest of that day, and then I just kept making frequent trips to the bathroom. And it wasn't from the cheese, I can say that, because it was too quick for it to have been like the cheese. It was like the burger itself was just like the nasty patty or something. It was just killing my stomach. And that was the last time I ate at a Burger King. One more time to go. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. And then after this, we get to have the fun of grinding extra class 2. But not today. You won't take my joy away. Oh, not today. The dumbest worker you've heard of today. Well, luckily, actually, maybe they're the dumbest worker of this decade, because that was 5 years ago that they made that folly. But yeah, nonetheless, that's how that went. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it definitely could have been well, I don't even know. I'm telling you, it was just the burger itself tore up my stomach. So even if they hadn't put the cheese on it, it probably still would have killed me internally. But they could have at least followed my one request. Would have been nice. Hey man, please don't put any cheese on that. Gotcha is pouring cheese on it. Yay. We did it. All 50 times needed. Thank goodness. You know what? Now there's this one. Have to do it 60 times as well, but it should be a lot easier. Because I have Hokusai, who's level 120, and is ready to brawl. Sorry, Iori. And then we go over here like this, and then like this. Well, what's a cool servant that I have that I could put there? I guess I could put... Oh, we could just put you. There it is. Yay. Yep. Okay, cool. Meaningful changes to my support list, if not minute. Okay, well, this is as far as I'm gonna go for today. I need to go lay down and think about my life. And I know we were just talking about eating cheese, but I'm gonna go eat some cheese. That cheese being feta cheese, which is a lot less high in the lactose saturation, so it doesn't kill my guts. But yeah, that's about it. I was looking at this the other day, and I was like, is there any servant that I would want to try and roll for here? The answer is Kazura Doropu, but I don't really want her enough to actually try and roll for her. I mean, she'd be the support to an extent, but I never really understand how to use her. I guess I can maybe look into it some more and see if I really want to go down that path of darkness. Well, anyway, that's about that. As per usual, I thank you for coming through. Thank you. You can't see it, but I'm making a heart with my hands because I heart you. Yes, you once again for coming all the way through, triple time over. There you go. So I'll see you later, alligators, and after a while, you crocodiles.